If your cat has been giving you that long, quiet look lately, the kind that lingers just a little too long, they might be trying to tell you something they can't say out loud. Cats are masters at hiding pain, not because they're brave, but because it's instinct, it's survival. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the 7 silent signs your cat is secretly in pain, and number 1 is the one that breaks most owners when they finally understand what it means. Here's the truth most vets don't say directly. By the time a cat shows obvious pain, crying, limping, refusing to move, they've usually been hurting for weeks, sometimes months. Cats don't tell us with noise the way humans do. They show us quietly, and these are the signs most people miss. Let's start with number 7. Number 7, your cat keeps grooming the same area over and over again. Not normal cleaning, not a quick tidy, but slow, focused licking, the same paw, the same side, the same exact spot every time. This isn't grooming, this is self-soothing. When a cat feels discomfort in a joint or under the skin, their instinct is to lick it. Their saliva helps numb the sensation temporarily. It's the closest thing a cat has to pain relief. But here's what most people miss. The place they lick isn't always where the pain starts, because pain spreads. A sore hip might lead to licking the leg. A back issue might show up as belly grooming. So don't just watch the action, watch the pattern, because the pattern tells the story your cat cannot say out loud. Number 6 is subtle movement changes, the kind that happens so slowly you almost never notice them until they become serious. The way your cat jumps, sits, or climbs is changed, but just slightly enough to go unnoticed at first. Does your cat hesitate before jumping onto a surface they used to reach easily? Do they take a longer route instead of a direct jump? Do they land more carefully or avoid heights altogether? Cats are natural athletes, built for speed, balance, and precision, so when they start calculating movement, something is wrong. They begin to shift their weight to protect whatever hurts. They move slower to avoid discomfort, and what looks like laziness is often pain management in disguise. Many owners think their cat is just getting older or becoming less playful, but in reality, the body is compensating for something deeper, something uncomfortable that the cat cannot explain. Number 5 is hiding more than usual, and this one is deeply rooted in a cat's survival instincts. Cats naturally hide, that's part of who they are, but when pain is involved, hiding becomes a necessity rather than a choice. If your cat suddenly spends more time under beds, behind furniture, inside closets, or in quiet, dark corners, pay attention. In the wild, a sick or injured cat becomes vulnerable. It becomes a target. So instinct tells them to disappear, to stay out of sight, to remain unnoticed. If your once social, relaxed cat becomes distant, withdrawn, or avoids interaction, they are not ignoring you. They are protecting themselves. This change can feel personal. It can feel like your cat no longer wants to be around you. But the truth is the opposite. They trust you enough to hide in your home. They just don't feel safe in their own body anymore. Number 4 is changes in eating habits, and this is where most people make the wrong assumption. Your cat eats slower, leaves food behind, or suddenly refuses dry food they've eaten for years, and the first thought is always the same. They're just being picky. Sometimes that's true, but most of the time it isn't. Watch how they eat, not just whether they eat. Are they chewing on one side? Are they dropping food from their mouth? Do they walk away after starting to eat even though they seem hungry? These are signs of pain, often dental pain, jaw discomfort, or even neck issues. Eating requires movement, positioning, and pressure, and if any part of that process hurts, the cat will hesitate. There's a simple test you can try. Raise their food bowl slightly off the ground. If they eat better, the problem may be in their neck or posture rather than their appetite. This small adjustment can reveal something significant, something that has been silently affecting your cat every single day. Number 3 is avoiding touch, and this is one of the most misunderstood signs because it feels emotional. Your cat used to love being petted in a certain spot, maybe behind the ears, along the back, or on the belly, and now they don't. They move away, flick their tail, tense up, or quietly leave. This isn't rejection, it's communication. That spot hurts. Cats rarely react aggressively at first. Instead, they withdraw. They choose distance over confrontation. And this is where many owners get it wrong. They pet their cat less, thinking the bond has changed, thinking the cat no longer enjoys affection. But the bond hasn't changed at all. Your cat still trusts you. They still love you. they're simply trying to avoid pain. If your cat suddenly doesn't want to be touched in a specific place, that place is important, that place is a clue, and it deserves attention. Number 3 is avoiding touch, and this is one of the most misunderstood signs because it feels emotional. Your cat used to love being petted in a certain spot, maybe behind the ears, along the back, or on the belly, and now they don't. They move away, flick their tail, tense up, or quietly leave. This isn't rejection, it's communication. That spot hurts. Cats rarely react aggressively at first. Instead, they withdraw. They choose distance over confrontation. And this is where many owners get it wrong. They pet their cat less, thinking the bond is changed, thinking the cat no longer enjoys affection. But the bond hasn't changed at all. Your cat still trusts you. They still love you. They're simply trying to avoid pain. If your cat suddenly doesn't want to be touched in a specific place, that place is important, that place is a clue, and it deserves attention. Number 2 is restless sleep, and this is where the difference between resting and simply lying down becomes clear. Your cat may be sleeping more, but they are not truly resting. A healthy cat settles into deep, consistent sleep, staying in one position for long stretches, breathing slowly, muscles relaxed. A cat in pain cannot do that. They shift constantly, changing positions every few minutes, moving from one spot to another, unable to get comfortable. They may abandon their favorite sleeping place, even the one they've loved for years, because it no longer feels right. You might hear soft sighs, see repeated repositioning, notice that they never fully relax. It looks like sleep, but it isn't rest, it's exhaustion. If your cat cannot stay still without discomfort, that is their way of telling you that something hurts every time they try to relax. And now, number 1, the one that changes everything, the look. Your cat sits quietly, maybe across the room, maybe right beside you, maybe at your feet, and they just stare. Not for food, not for attention, not for play, just a steady, silent gaze. And something about it feels different. It lingers longer than usual, it feels heavier, deeper, almost like a question you don't fully understand. Cats do not hold eye contact without meaning. In their world, a long stare is intentional. It carries purpose. When pain goes unnoticed, when all the small signals fail, the licking, the movement changes, the hiding, the restlessness, they do the only thing left. They look at you. Still, silent, searching. No playful blinking, no curiosity, just calm, steady focus. Owners describe it the same way every time. It felt like they were trying to tell me something. And they are. If your cat has been looking at you that way lately, quieter than usual, deeper than usual, don't ignore it. Sit beside them. Watch them closely. Pay attention to the details you might have missed before. Because the cats who hide pain the best are often the ones who love us the most. They don't want to worry you, they don't want to show weakness. They just want you to notice. So over the next few days, watch your cat differently. Not just when they're active, but when they're still. Notice how they move, how they rest, how they respond to your touch, and most importantly, how they look at you when nothing else is happening. Trust your instincts, because that feeling you get when something seems off, that quiet sense that something isn't right, is often more accurate than you think. You don't need to wait for proof. You don't need to wait for something obvious. Sometimes, caring for your cat means acting on the subtle things, the things that are easy to overlook but impossible to ignore once you truly see them. Because in the end, your cat isn't asking for much. They're not asking for words. They're not asking for explanations. They're simply asking to be understood.